The Supreme Court itself admitted that a lot needs to be done to fix the justice system in the country, and that, of course, includes legal education in the Philippines. Now, yesterday, the High Court had its Legal Education Summit where some drastic changes in the law, Charles, and the bar exams were proposed. So, of course, who else will I bring in but you
Of
to
course.
tell me about this? Because you went through this first. So, first things first, why now? They already changed the format, right, of the exam itself. That's
yes,
the big change.
There were some changes already announced, Sean, but then, yeah, it is finally about time, as the Chief Justice has said that there needs to be a closer evaluation of the law curriculum, since these subjects have not changed for more than 60 years, I think, and even this comes even with a shift from to the Juris Doctor from the Bachelor of Laws
Yes.
system now. But then we do have to give credit where it's due, Sean, and this credit should be given to the ousted Chief Justice Sereno, who initiated actually a lot of these changes, but were never really pushed during her term as her term as Chief Justice.
All right, you guys are fond of jargons. Of course, Charles is an attorney. And you mentioned about the conduct of the study of law. So what is that, and what do you see wrong with that?
And UP, they tell us to teach law in the grand manner, but then that varies depending on who you're speaking to. They're specifying the Socratic method when it comes to law school. Simply stated, Socratic method is when you're asked to recite regarding a case or some legal concept, and that recitation is likely to constitute around 50% of your grade for the semester. So it really is designed to drive terror into the hearts of law students, and at the same time encourage them to master these subjects. Now, the Chief Justice is saying that this is an outdated method, Sean, that this is actually this is a good time for us to shift to a more experiential approach to teaching law, which, simply stated, again, is getting law students in the courts and to do actual legal work earlier on, say second year pa lang, not like now when you have the Office of Legal Aid program coming in the fourth year. And the Chief Justice actually made these observations during his team's visit to foreign schools such as Harvard and Georgetown. Meanwhile, we have Dean Tony Lavinia, former Dean of the Ateneo School of Government, tweeting that law school recitation, Philippine style, has long been abandoned by the best law schools in the world. It terrorizes students without contributing to their learning. And he also tweeted that law school recitation, Philippine style, gives professors many opportunities to abuse students, including sexually, as a recent decision of the Supreme Court has pointed out.
All right, that's, of course, these recitations are what you hear from every single law student around the Philippines. You're right about that. What about the subjects themselves? I mean, of course, the law, we can't do anything if they haven't changed that, but the subjects, do people find it also kind of antiquated?
Yeah,
or
Duralex,
draconian?
Duralex, Sedlex, and all that. But then we have Justice Carpio, the intellectual leader of the Supreme Court, as they say, saying that legal education should be attuned to global standards, as certain areas of the law, particularly private international law, international humanitarian law, intellectual property law, among others, are already undergoing this harmonization process across the world, and we should be in touch with that. Meanwhile, we have Justice Perlas Bernabe, who is the chairperson for the 2019 bar exams, saying that regardless of practical value, there are some subjects that should be retained in law schools because they might be covered in the bar exams. The perfect example here is, for example, negotiable instruments law, where there isn't really much to do, but then it's a really challenging subject. And we have Dean Lavinia again suggesting that labor, commercial, and tax law, saying that since these are specialized subjects, perhaps these subjects can be subject to special exams that can be later on administered to students who are actually going to practice law under these fields, and can be required later on, Sean.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea to me, at least as a possible customer of a lawyer. And aren't we all at some point in our lives?
Point in time, yes.
Yeah, right. So what about the conduction of the bar exams themselves? That's that much, pretty much nothing has changed. So what were proposed and what changes can we expect?
All right, we heard from the two incoming bar examiners, the bar chairpersons for the 2019 bar exams. Chairperson Perlas Bernabe has confirmed that there will be 2 examiners per subject, and she also said that she will filter the 2019 bar exams to make sure that it will not include those unfair, trivial, or misleading questions. Yeah, sometimes in the bar exam there's certain questions that are just trivia. It's either you know it or you don't, and there's no practical application. You may have never encountered the term throughout your 4 years of law school. So she's looking out for those types of questions. At the same time, she wants to spread out the questions to different subjects so that no specific subject, such as local government taxation, for example, will take the lion's shares. Meanwhile, we have the 2020 bar chairperson, Justice Marvic Leonin, my former boss, who's proposing to make the bar exams a simple pass or fail. No more bar top-notchers, no more ranking of schools, to take away that entire dimension of competition, I suppose, between and among law schools. Also, he's suggesting to allow computerized exams. Now, I would especially be in favor of this, as well as others like me who have terrible handwriting. So this would actually help
By
them with their bar
computerized,
exam.
you don't mean online, you're just typing. Right?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
And he also said that we should the Supreme Court should upload all bar questions and suggested answers from the previous years on the Supreme Court website.
Isn't that sort of like unfair?
Yeah, if you wanna nerd out and review online for the upcoming bar exams, that is.
All right, thank you. So then how do they intend to implement all these, or will they actually?
Right, Shani.
What's the process? Is it hard?
Yeah, Sean, most of these
Yeah.
are actually just proposals that will definitely require more time to implement, especially the changes in the curriculum. But insofar as the changes in the bar exams are concerned, that will be up to the chairperson. So that's Perlas Bernabe for 2019 and Leonin for 2020. So future lawyers looking to take the bar in the next couple of years should be able to reap some benefits from these reforms.
If they are indeed benefits, we'll see
Yeah,
about
we'll
that.
see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
Definitely.
see how they turn out. Thank you very much for that, Charles.